Welcome to MojoPlays. Today, we're honoring the best characters from CD Projekt Red's masterful RPG trilogy. While the Witcher games are an extension of the books, the novels themselves will not be taken into account.
But remember the most important moment when hunting a monster?
Wait for an opportunity.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Lambert.
After that, we worked together a lot. Hands down the best man I'd ever met.
Understandably so, every other Witcher in the series lives in Geralt's all-consuming shadow, with one such example being Lambert. Compared to Geralt, Lambert detests having the life of a monster hunter forced upon him, and after hearing the young Witcher's backstory, it's hard to not see why.
So a band of trained assassins ambushed Aiden, murdered him. Our dear supervisor was one of them.
Rude and perpetually annoyed, Lambert highlights that the life of a Witcher is anything but glamorous. Depending on the choices made by the player, Geralt and Lambert can strike an unlikely friendship over the course of the storyline as the two unite over a common cause, mainly to send the Wild Hunt packing.
Sorry about your friend.
Don't need your sympathy, just your help.
Cerys on Craite.
Where am I? Oh, my head. Pain's just awful.
A video game original character introduced in the Wild Hunt, Cerys on Craite offers everything one could want in a leader. Born and raised in Skellige, Cerys competes with her brother, Hjalmar, to determine the most worthy successor to replace their father as the island's new sovereign. Along with just being associated with some awesome quests, Cerys is a charming character who blends intelligence, passion, and strength, both physical and mental.
But when it saw the babe was whole, unharmed, it had to go. You're free, Jarl.
Even if Cerys' role is relatively minor compared to other characters, the Skellige warrior leaves one long-lasting impression.
You've been tricked. You must go.
Letho.
I don't drink with traitors and rats.
Whoa, let's be civil now.
With the whole eliminating King Foltest and setting Geralt to take the fall thing, Letho of Gulet does not exactly leave the greatest of initial impressions. On the surface, Letho embodies everything people on the continent fear about Witchers. This dude is quick to arms, incredibly powerful, and undeterred by loyalty to a master or state.
Stay here and don't interfere, no matter what happens.
However, there is more to this brawny hunter than meets the eye. In his own way, Letho adheres to a personal code of conduct and has proven to be somewhat loyal to a select few, even if any such allegiances are fragile at best.
So you proved useful after all.
Could have told me.
No fun in that.
Emhyr var Emreis.
Very well. Give the orders. Then set sail.
So much of The Witcher's main quest can be tracked back to the Nilfgaardian Empire's emperor. Voiced by Charles Dance, who portrayed Tywin Lannister on Game of Thrones, Emhyr var Emreis is fascinating and unpredictable, a person who is equally capable of slipping into the role of a scheming villain or an unlikely and sympathetic anti-hero.
Yet in my daughter's stead, you bring me this monstrosity?
Along with being Ciri's biological father, Emhyr sends Geralt on his quest to find the runaway Witcher. Meanwhile, the Emperor is constantly plotting the next step in a seemingly never-ending war against the North.
I wage a war against the North, command men in tens of thousands, while at home the trade corporations and nobles seek to depose me. You cannot expect me to pity you the difficulty of your task.
Vernon Roche.
Safe and sound.
Vernon Roche, Temeria's last hope.
Laugh all you want. Temeria will rise again.
Solely motivated by preserving Temeria's status as a sovereign state, the commander of the Blue Stripes is a humorless but generally honest individual. A competent and loyal soldier, Vernon Roche rose to prominence under the rule of King Foltest and, for better or worse, never stops trying to do right by his master.
I could not abandon them. They helped us.
It's a soldier's job to kill, Bess, not save, not rescue.
Roche's staunch temperament is a perfect match for Geralt's sarcastic insolence. In fact, the pair's interactions are nearly always entertaining and intense. Roche may not be the type of person anyone would invite for a drink, but on the battlefield, the Temerian commander is worth 50 men.
We should go before a patrol comes along. Thank you, Geralt. Ever need any help, you know where to find me.
Dandelion.
Oh, you chose it. Well, I'm not saying it's bad, just different.
While many repeatedly cross paths or are indebted to the Witcher, Geralt cannot claim to have many true friends. Putting aside lovers and horses, Dandelion may very well be the only companion to genuinely cherish Geralt's presence. In the realm of poets and bards, Dandelion stands unmatched as a wordsmith, with the minstrel's songs echoing across the continent to near universal praise.
You're pulling my leg.
While these poems immortalize Geralt's adventures, it is the bard's willingness to aid the Witcher or protect Ciri at great and potentially fatal personal risk that ensures Dandelion is fondly remembered.
Ciri?
Sigismund Dijkstra.
Last we met, Geralt thrashed me silly and crushed my ankle. I really wonder what he's got in store this time.
Few are those who can match Geralt's wit and sarcasm, but the Redanian Secret Service's spymaster is more than up to the challenge. Whether acting as King Vizimir II's shadow, using Queen Hedwig as a puppet, or reigning as one of Novigrad's criminal godfathers, Dijkstra can always be relied upon to stylishly steal the scene while trying to remain 5 steps ahead of everyone else.
I've awaited this moment forever, so, very sorry, but I care as much about your plans as I do about the snows of Mahakam.
As a spy, an element of duplicity is to be expected. However, Dijkstra, like many characters in The Witcher, is deeply protective of his city, Redania.
Remember the assassins you sent after me, darling Phil? A grave error. Such matters ought to be handled personally.
Triss Merigold.
So, what do you think? Rat catcher? It's a long way to fall from being advisor to Temeria's king.
A powerful sorceress and one of Geralt's 2 main love interests, Triss shines the brightest when serving as a political advisor or personal confidant. While some of the sorceress's actions, particularly in relation to Geralt, are questionable, Triss nevertheless comes across as someone who is only trying to make the best of a less than ideal situation.
Get to the point, Klug. No time today for one of your long stories.
Although Marigold's importance diminishes somewhat in the 3rd game, Triss remains firmly entangled in the main quest, and, regardless of the selected romance path, continues to be a crucial component in safeguarding Ciri from the Wild Hunt while also helping mages trapped in Novigrad.
Geralt, all mages know each other. Some are well over a century old. That's plenty of time to make acquaintances.
Zoltan Chivay.
You know, I think it's a great plan all round, and I'm always glad to help. And it's not like I'm not eager to crack some holier-than-thou bugger's skulls, but seeing as we've got a Doppler, wouldn't it have been easier to have him release Dandelion and be done with it?
The Witcher's universe is hardly the kindest or most fantastical place to live, and most NPCs tend to have rather realistic, if not downright pessimistic, views. An experienced merchant with a love for gambling, Zoltan's good-natured demeanor and cheerful outlook came as a breath of fresh air, even if the dwarf does not have the greatest of luck with investments.
What? You elven cock's gone soft?
Zoltan can always be relied upon for a hearty laugh and even introduces Geralt to dice poker, while also being involved with a fun quest to collect rare Gwent cards in the Wild Hunt.
I suppose you're right.
Yennefer.
Excuses, excuses. You've not changed a bit.
Physically debuting in the 3rd game, Yennefer initially comes across as a bit cold and condescending, but the sorceress is willing to go to the ends of the earth to protect Ciri. Geralt and Yennefer's relationship is complex, with both characters being willing to accept the other's flaws and baggage.
I missed you too.
Yennefer is astonishingly strong and resolute, traits born from the fact that sorceresses have lived for around a century in a less than hospitable world. Regardless of whether someone prefers Triss, the history shared between Yennefer and Geralt can be felt in the couple's every interaction. Ciri.
Avalok says nothing will come of this until I stop thinking about the battle. But at the moment I find it impossible to fill my head with kittens and vanilla pudding.
Along with being the only playable character besides Geralt, Ciri is the driving force behind The Witcher's main storyline, particularly the 3rd entry. The princess-turned-witcher is not only one of the most powerful characters in the series, but has a backstory worthy of such a prominent role in the narrative. Along with being Geralt and Yennefer's adopted daughter, Ciri is thrust in the role of the Chosen One, although the young Witcher is perfectly content with unceremoniously rejecting this calling while still finding the time to save the world on her own terms. Despite the character's importance and power, Ciri is still barely older than a child and is prone to the occasional bout of immaturity. That is a good thing.
You'll regret that.
Geralt of Rivia.
So,
Geralt of Rivia. Place of birth unknown. Parents unknown. Age unknown.
Seriously, who else could finish off this video? In the grander scheme of things, Geralt is merely one grumpy witcher stuck in a far larger conflict. Be that as it may, Ciri's adoptive father is the ideal playable character.
This here's Roche. She'll take us to Kaer Morhen. Well, come on.
Due to the Witcher Code promoting neutrality and the whole amnesiac angle, Geralt does not have as loud of a personality as the likes of Dandelion or even Ciri, but that hardly means the protagonist is a blank slate. Depending on the situation, Geralt can be ruthless, tender, and even hilarious. While far from the only Witcher, Geralt is definitely the Witcher.
Alright, I'm off. Good luck.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.